Today begins our series on Carl Panzram. From a rough childhood, to a serious head injury, to arson, Carl checks all the boxes. We'll follow Carl's travels across the western U.S., where he found himself imprisoned more often than not. He tries his luck out east, and even over in Africa, where he continually escalates his crimes, from burglary to rape to murder, and eventually targeting children. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. Dirt poor, no father, and a childhood filled with violence. Stop me if you've heard this one, but stick around. Let's see if Carl can rise up and overcome his past to become the fine, upstanding citizen that the Lord intended. This is Necronomipod.
So we were talking about this yesterday, or I saw the news article, and it just baffled me that there is now a new rule where members of the Academy who vote the Oscars just now are being required to watch every movie in the categories with which they are voting.
That's a new rule.
This is a brand new rule.
Seems like it should be the first rule when you are judging a movie.
How could that not be the first rule?
That's fucking insane.
I guess we have an explanation for how one of the dumbest movies of all time, Forrest Gump, beat one of the best movies of all time, Shawshank Redemption, for Best Picture.
One would say it probably would have been even more dominant had everyone watched it.
So if you don't watch the movie, then what is, like, how are you making your decision based on what? If you like the actor's previous work or the director's previous work, what?
I feel like it's probably everybody's different if they're not watching them all.
Yeah.
I'd like to think they still were, but who the fuck knows?
Like, oh, that trailer and the poster looks
Yeah, right.
sweet. All right, I'll vote for them.
That girl's super hot. I think that was the best picture. Come on, I watch almost all of them every year. You can't? You're in the Academy?
That's what I'm saying.
That's lame.
Does this taint all previous Oscar winners?
I would say, sure.
It's
Yeah, I
flawed
mean,
voting.
Yeah.
If you vote for Best Picture and you haven't watched all of them, then yeah, absolutely.
That's ridiculous. How are they picking who's members of the Academy? Like, how is that even?
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Could you like sign up and be like, I watch movies. I'll be on the Academy. And
Sure.
then you have to like apply.
I'll apply.
Well, you certainly watch them all. That's
true. Well, and each
Step
movie has marketing campaigns and budgets for Oscar stuff to try to get theirs to win. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just like everything else. You're getting lobbied and this and that.
yeah. But then if you're getting lobbied hard enough by one movie, you're like, oh, I'm just not even going to watch the rest of them.
Yeah, I guess if you're like, all right, I already know what my vote's going to be, when the fuck do I got to watch the rest for?
I guess. Like this year, the winner, it was okay. It wasn't Best Picture by any stretch, in my humble opinion. As someone who has seen almost all of the nominees, except for one.
Well, as of next year, almost all will not be acceptable.
I will not be allowed to open my mouth until I've seen every one of them.
That blew me away.
Yeah,
That's
that's a long overdue rule.
insane. Like Ian said, that should literally be the number one rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, we'll see if there's any major changes next year. Maybe like surprise winners or
Yeah,
you
something
know,
good.
where people are like some of the people members of the Academy are like, oh, wow, there's some good movies out there.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Who knew?
Here's another question. How do they make sure you actually watch the movie?
Well, that's, of course,
Yeah, how's that?
honor system, right?
I don't know. Or do they force you into a room and make you watch that movie?
Pin your eyelids back
It's
and
part
make
of the
sure you
job.
watch the whole
You
thing.
have to submit a 2-page summary of every movie. I mean, they're probably not going to be able to enforce it, but you would think just for the integrity of it,
Sure.
it should be a fucking rule.
So yeah, it could have been on the books a long time ago.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, can I get 2-paragraph summary of the 10 Best Picture nominees?
Yeah.
I'm not watching them.
All right. Well, that was just kind of crazy.
Like for you, you'd probably just vote for a Florence Pugh movie if you hadn't seen any other ones, right?
I'll be honest. I think I've seen maybe one of her movies.
Oh,
but
well, that tracks.
the photos look me gusta. So
I don't know if I've seen her in any other movies other than
Midsommar.
yeah.
She's at the movie about Paige, the wrestler.
Fighting with My Family.
Yeah, she's
I
that was
Paige.
never
good.
saw that.
Yeah,
Little Women, she was in.
I have not seen. No, I think that's the only two I've actually seen.
I just watched something with her not too long ago. It was real good.
I do feel like there is something else that I've seen with her in it, but I don't remember. I'd have to look at a list.
This Thunderbolts preview looks great with her for the upcoming Marvel movie.
I don't know
I haven't
that
seen
one.
that.
She's a superhero. She farts in people's faces.
Right.
Might be right up your alley.
That'd be something. Okay. But yes, on the top of it, I just like, oh, she's in it. That's my vote.
Exactly.
She should win all of the Academy Awards.
Fraud alert. Glad to see this being corrected.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that goes.
One less injustice in the world.
Certainly is.
Hungry children can go to bed satisfied tonight, knowing that the Academy's operating under much more stringent guidelines next voting season.
Anything else going on? What else is up? Nothing much.
Not really.
Stanley Cup playoffs started, so I'll be on no sleep here for the next 2 months.
Okay. Cavs, nice game. They're 1-0 currently. Looking good.
Who they playing first round?
Miami Heat.
Okay. It's been a pretty good year.
It's been a real good year.
Be a very Cleveland thing to do to choke.
Hey, come on, man.
I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying it's a Cleveland thing.
It is a Cleveland thing, but not this year, pal.
All right. They sweep their way. 16 straight wins.
Let's
Just win it
go.
all. Boom. Oh, all right. Well, this is what, Ian? Going 3 parts on this old fella?
No, I think 2.
2?
Yeah, I think 2.
Okay.
But it's a big one.
He's not a very likable guy.
No, he is a very mean man.
Yeah. He'll tell you that, too.
He makes a lot of people throughout life know that how mean he is. But there's also there might be some embellishment from Carl in some of this.
I can see that.
Yeah, there's some things that could be
Keep
questioned a bit.
Up his mean reputation a little bit.
Yeah, especially some of his stories from the trains, hopping on trains, living in the hobo life.
This guy's wild, man.
It was quite a tale.
You know, the like cartoons and shit from back then with like hobos and they like, you know, had the stick with the bandana. Like they make it sound super or look super fun. Like, oh, I'm jumping on the railroad. Like the boxcar kids. Remember those books from back in the day?
Yeah.
It is not like that in real life. People are getting raped and killed and
That
burglarized.
never looked all that enticing to me. I don't know what your thoughts were on that, but
But I mean, they make it all like kid-like.
Well,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
sure.
Like, I don't want to jump on a plane.
Here's the train.
You'd have to run and try to keep up with the train enough to jump onto it. I don't want to do all that.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the boxcar kids did? They like
I don't
traveled
I
around in a
vaguely
train.
remember.
I don't know
but
what that is.
Yeah, it was just like children's books when we were in middle grade school, I guess.
Yeah.
I read a couple, but I don't remember.
I know Boxcar Willie. I don't know the Boxcar Kids.
Who's Boxcar Willie?
He was like a country guy. That was his nickname, Boxcar Willie.
I don't know that one.
There's probably someone in the story that called himself Boxcar Willie. at one
Probably.
point.
Carl probably raped
He probably either raped or was raped. But we'll find out.
We sure will, pal.
Carl Panzram was born on June 28th, 1891, on a remote farm in northern Minnesota. His parents, hardworking and stern German immigrants, were very poor, like many others at the time. Carl had 5 brothers and 1 sister, and though he later described them as honest, dedicated farmers, he admitted that he did not share those traits. Quote, "I've been a human animal ever since I was born. I was a thief and a liar. The older I got, the meaner I got." I don't love doing a ton of quotes. Like, if it's something really good, I like putting like a big quote in there. Those like the ones I have you read. I don't like breaking them up a bunch, but Carl has a lot to say.
Oh.
So we're going to quote him a lot throughout this series.
Well, I think on this one, you did a good job of just kind of sprinkling it in.
Yeah.
Like just couple one-liners,
Right.
two-liners. It helps, gives you the idea of who he is, and he's telling you when it's his words.
Adds a bit of flair and panache to the show.
Yeah, look at us, panache.
The family, like the whole stern German thing, like they made all their kids do backbreaking work. Like he would talk about only getting 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep, and then being right back out working and shit.
That sounds great.
It's that farm life, man. I ain't built for that shit.
No.
You lost me at backbreaking. Let me be honest.
There's a lot of backbreaking work in this episode too.
Getting out of bed is backbreaking, and that's quite enough.
I always remember Harry Truman, one of his biographies. It talks about how he grew up, in a farm in Missouri and stuff, and was just used to being up way early. And when he got in the Oval Office after FDR, the White House, the press were so used to like FDR's schedule, which was a little more lackadaisical, and then Harry Truman would be up so early that they'd be like falling asleep in the lobby waiting for him to come in the morning, and he'd always look at him and be like, "I'm going to make men out of you guys yet."
Nice.
Harry, I would have quit on day one. Like, sir, I cannot keep up with the schedule. I cannot be awake at 5:30 a.m. working. So it's farm boys.
They know what makes the world go round.
Yes, they do.
When Carl was 7 years old, his parents split up. Back then, there was no such thing as like divorce courts and shit like that. His father just walked off the farm one day and never came back, leaving the family to struggle even harder. They worked day in and day out with little to show for it. Life wasn't great for Carl at home. His brothers regularly beat him for just about anything, no matter how small. Quote, everybody thought it was fine to lie to me, deceive me, and kick me around whenever they felt like it, and they felt like it pretty regularly. By the time Carl was 11, he had already started getting into serious trouble. He broke into a neighbor's house, stole whatever he could find, including a handgun. His brothers found out about it and beat him unconscious. So, classic head injury.
Uh-huh.
Soon after, they turned him in for this. He was
Wow.
they beat him unconscious and turned him in.
Jesus.
So in 1903, he was sent to the Minnesota State Training School, which is a reform school for juveniles.
It's very much like the Henry Lee Lucas upbringing with all this violence and beating at home, and
Yeah,
but Henry turned out okay. So
he turned out great.
yeah, so this is probably going to be better.
It housed about 300 boys, aged 10 to 20, and to say life was tough would be an understatement. The boys were completely at the mercy of the guards, who had little to no oversight. The lack of accountability created an environment where abuse ran rampant. It is horrific abuse. And this is we're early 1900s. The abuse at these places goes even further. I will never forget reading Charles Manson's book when he's talking about his time in the reform schools, and he said that one of the guards beat him up real bad, and then because they were working in the dairy and they had like the silage on the floor.
Yeah.
He picked it up, spit his tobacco juice in it, put it in Charles Manson's ass, and then told him he was lubed up for everybody to fuck him. Like that's the kind of stuff we're talking about tonight. Just brutal.
Reminds me of, did you guys ever see the movie Sleepers? With who's in it? Jason Patrick and Brad Pitt and De Niro and Kevin Bacon, a bunch of people. And it was like this: these four boys got in trouble for doing something, were sent to a boys' place like this and abused by the guards. And two of them, who were like mob guys, later on run into one of the guards at a restaurant, and they just blow them away in the restaurant. And then it's like Brad Pitt is the district attorney, and it's this whole scheme to get them off, like to throw the trial and stuff. It's really good if you've never seen it.
I don't think I've seen that.
These places back then, it's just a breeding ground for, like, if you were a fucked up person, it seemed like being a guard either here or like a dog catcher was a good thing. Remember that dog catcher and Peter Curtin?
Oh yeah,
He used to kill the dogs and fuck them and stuff.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that. I wish you hadn't brought that up.
well, and then your breeding future criminals because you're fucking the kids up so bad. So even when you turn them out, then you just have a whole nother round of psychopaths. Not all of them, but a good chunk, right?
Yeah, there's definitely an argument to be made here that Carl was a product of how he was brought up instead of necessarily just a mental illness.
There's a Chuck Palahniuk short story, maybe it's a novella called Inclinations, and it's about like a small conservative town that has a reform school that you can send your gay son to, and they will fix them. And they so the premise of the short story is that all these boys, their parents are like trying to convince them into, well, we're sending you away. It's for your own good. If you get out, we'll buy you this car. If you get out, we'll give you $10,000 cash, blah, blah, blah. So a bunch of straight boys fake that they're gay so that they can go in. And they're like, oh, we'll pass with flying colors because obviously we're straight. What they don't realize is the reform school, obviously corrupt in and of itself, nobody ever graduates. And they just take all the parents' money and they fix you for the rest of your life. And they have them like experimenting on female corpses to learn the female anatomy to help turn them straight, you know. And Palahniuk hijinks ensue and it gets real fucked up, but it's crazy.
It's pretty dark.
It is real dark.
That is super dark.
Yeah. It was a really good story, but fucked up.
So this reform school claimed to provide Christian training, but any misstep in behavior or failure to memorize lessons led to brutal punishments. Carl, who hadn't had much formal schooling back on the farm, struggled with reading. For that, he was beaten regularly. Reflecting on his time there, he said, quote, I may not have accomplished much in a scholarly way while there, but I learned how to become a first-class liar in the beginnings of degeneracy.
Let's go. Head start.
Carl developed an intense hatred for the staff and everything connected to religion, which he saw as the root of his suffering. He later said, quote, I first began to think I was being unjustly imposed upon. Then I began to hate those who abused me. Then I began to think that I would have my revenge just as soon and as often as I could injure someone else. Anyone at all would do. The more he was beaten, the deeper his hatred grew. The punishments were relentless. He was hit with wooden planks, thick leather straps, whips, heavy paddles, and the whole time Carl was just quietly plotting his revenge. On the night of July 7th, 1905, Carl went into the workshop where there were tons of chemicals and stuff. It was like where they fixed cars and taught them how to do woodwork and shit.
Shop.
Yeah. And he set a big fire. The fire grew and burnt the building to the ground, all while Carl was laying in bed watching and laughing.
Was he laughing maniacally?
Probably.
That's how I see it.
He's like twiddling his fingers together and shit.
Just a cartoon evil villain.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
In late 1905, Carl finally left behind the Minnesota State Training School. He had learned how to say exactly what the staff wanted to hear, and when he stood before the parole board, he convinced them that he was a changed boy. But Carl himself later admitted, quote, I was reformed, all right. I had been taught by Christians how to be a hypocrite and had learned more about stealing, lying, hating, burning, and killing. He also said, quote, I had learned that a boy's penis could be used for something besides urinating and that a rectum could be used for other purposes.
Well, I don't know what he's insinuating, but this is news to me.
that stuff happens. Or just that penises work that way.
I thought penises were for pee-pee time.
And rectums are only good for shitting on your front porch.
Yeah. Well, in an emergency, sure. After you've ridden 4 miles. Scorching hot August sun.
Exactly. I'll do it to any changed boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a changed boy.
He also said, quote, when I left there, I decided exactly how I was going to live my life. I made up my mind to rob, burn, destroy, and kill everywhere I went and everyone I could for as long as I lived.
That is quite a manifesto and life path.
Yeah.
That winter, Carl's mom, Lizzie Panzram, came to pick Carl up and take him home. But Carl wasn't the same. Even before, he hadn't been very outgoing, but now he was very withdrawn, very quiet and angry. Lizzie had a lot going on at the same time. Remember, there were multiple kids here, and the father just walked out. And while Carl was in reform school, one of his brothers drowned, and Lizzie's health wasn't great. With so much on her plate, she didn't have the energy to deal with a rebellious child like Carl, who was constantly getting in trouble. I don't necessarily think maybe, saying that Lizzie's a great mom, I don't know, but, it's 1905 for a single mom. Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on.
Probably not the easiest of times.
No.
You know what they needed more of? Birth control. That's all.
What is that? It's a sin, pal.
Is that a sin?
And you know it.
All right, well, I'm a sinner.
About his mom, Carl said, quote, "Mother was too dumb to know anything good to teach me. At first I liked and respected her, but over time those feelings turned to distrust, dislike, disgust, and eventually pure hatred." But like I said, I don't know how much she could be blamed for some things.
Yeah. Is he going to cut off her head and skull fuck her? Couldn't be that bad.
No.
That'd have been a
Some
perfect time
people-
for like an ad break, like a dun dun dun.
That's right. Some people do that.
I've heard stories.
I have too.
At 14, Carl was stuck working the fields on his mom's farm. Hating the idea of a future full of backbreaking labor, he convinced her to send him to a different school.
You and me both, brother.
But things didn't get any better there. He ended up in a fight with a teacher who whipped him pretty bad. Furious, Carl got a hold of a handgun and planned to kill the teacher in front of the class. The plan failed when, during a scuffle, the gun fell out of his pants onto the classroom floor. Carl was expelled and sent back to the farm. 2 weeks later, he jumped on a freight train and left Minnesota for good.
Goodbye, Minnesota. So how old was he here? 14?
14,
Okay.
yeah.
It's a good time to leave home. I mean, in 1905.
I was going to say, is this what you're advocating?
Absolutely not.
For the next few years, Carl wandered the Midwest, hitching rides on freight trains, sleeping wherever he could, and dodging railroad cops, who were a lot of times more dangerous than the criminals you could run into. Again, a lot of raping and stuff going on from the railroad cops, too. He begged for food and stole it when he needed to, becoming a part of the hobo culture that was thriving along the rails. Not long after leaving Minnesota, Carl hitched a ride on a freight train out of Montana. That's where he ran into 4 men camping in a lumber car. They promised him new clothes and a warm place to stay, but demanded something in return. Carl was gang raped by all 4 men. Years later, he wrote about it, saying that he begged and pleaded for them to stop, but nothing worked. And he said that horrific experience killed off whatever compassion he had left.
Is this getting into that whole, we're not quite sure what he exaggerates at times type thing? I mean, he's already admitted he's an expert liar.
Yeah.
Is this him trying to justify a little bit why he's become so evil?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't doubt that that it happened to him along the way here.
Okay.
Great ass!
I don't know about that.
Is that
All right, maybe
I
not.
picture the 4 guys all in the corner arguing like this is the end about who's most likely to rape Emma Watson.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You still haven't seen that movie? This is the end. The end of the world with Seth
No, I
Rogen.
still haven't. No.
And they're all outside the room arguing over who's most likely to scare her because they're the rapiest. And she hears them talking about it and she comes after him with a fucking axe. It's so funny.
Soon after, Carl was arrested in Butte, Montana for burglary and sentenced to a year at the Montana State Reform School in Miles City. When he got there in the spring of 1906, he was only 14, but already had the build of a grown man, weighing nearly 180 pounds. That's the thing about Carl, is he is a very big, muscular guy. He is super scary.
That's a big boy for 14.
Even like his mugshot and stuff, he's just a scary looking dude.
He is.
Man.
Man's man, manly man. Bit like a bare knuckle brawler type looking guy.
Especially when he grows the mustache out. It didn't take long for him to get a reputation as a troublemaker, and guards kept a close eye on him. One guard in particular seemed to enjoy making Carl's life miserable. Carl eventually snapped and decided to kill this guard. He found a heavy plank outside one of the workshops and hit the guard over the head when he wasn't looking. He did not kill the guard, but Carl was severely beaten for this and put on a tighter watch.
I'm guessing it doesn't go well when you beat a guard. The other guards probably don't look kindly upon that.
Probably not. Looking this guy up, I haven't seen him yet.
Better make sure he's dead when you do something like that.
Is this the movie? Like the movie about him that's the photo.
Yeah, there's
With that tattoo.
Yeah.
there's one of him with a mustache. He's pretty scary looking.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a hell of a widow's peak.
In 1907, Carl and another inmate, Jimmy Benson, broke out of the reform school. They stole some handguns from a house nearby and started heading for Terry, Montana. For about a month, the two of them traveled together, hopping trains, stealing, and burning things as they went. Carl taught Jimmy how to rob and set fire to churches, which became one of Carl's favorite crimes. He loved to burn down churches.
Oh.
Big arsonist, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He maybe the Norwegian black metal guys maybe took a cue from Carl. That's where they learned their behavior.
Maybe.
Church burners.
I know the McDonald triad isn't really a thing, but there's definitely something about setting fire. At least being a psychopath or something, there's something there. By the time they made it to western Minnesota, they were armed with 2 handguns each and had pockets full of stolen cash. In Fargo, North Dakota, they decided to part ways. Carl was now going by the name Jefferson Baldwin, and he drifted west. And
I'm sorry. That's a cool fucking name, by the way.
Jefferson
Jefferson Baldwin.
Like that?
Yeah. I like the name Jefferson as like a first name. I wouldn't go by,
not bad.
I don't think I would go by Jeff, but like I like Jefferson.
Jeffy?
No.
No.
It's Jefferson, pal. You can refer to me as Jefferson or Mr. Baldwin.
He's the 5th Baldwin brother, Jefferson.
See, now
Jefferson
we're talking.
Baldwin.
Now we're getting somewhere.
In December 1907, Carl showed up in Helena, Montana. The town was it was pretty rough, full of fur traders, river workers, and everyone was carrying open guns.
Fur traders, you mean beaver hunters, right?
Sure.
Beaver hunters.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a fur trader.
Allegedly.
That's what my business card says.
One night while drinking alone in a saloon, Carl listened to an Army recruiter giving a speech. By the end of it, Carl had lied about his age and enlisted in the United States Army. He was sent to Fort William Henry Harrison, a small base in western Montana.
I think you should sign up while you're boozing in the bar, hearing tales of glory and combat.
I also think the recruiter should have been like, sir, you were hammer drunk.
That's right. And you appear to be 15 years old.
Also, the recruiter should have been fired for recruiting in a saloon to begin with.
Probably not that many rules back then, huh?
No. Also, we need more places called saloons. That's
Don't call them
fucking
a saloon
cool.
anymore,
I
right?
want to go to a saloon. I'll come visit your place if you call it a saloon.
Is there any difference that makes it a saloon, or is
There
that
has
just
to
a
be
word?
a man in one of those derby hats playing the piano.
Is that right?
In my mind, that's what it is. I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, it was just the bars back then, but I don't think anything now. Like, I guess you can call yourself a saloon. Doesn't the country bar here call himself a saloon? Or no? Am I making?
Yeah,
that
I
up?
think you're right.
I've been there once. It's
Not great.
no.
Is that the one where Hulk embarrassed himself?
Yeah, that's where they have the midget wrestling, midget championship wrestling. That's the name of the company, Midget Championship Wrestling.
Don't come at me.
Yeah. Have you ever been there?
No.
I think I've been there twice. It's just a country bar. Then a whole dance floor area where like they two-step.
Yeah.
And like you're not allowed on the dance floor if you don't know how to two-step. The DJ will like stop the music and tell you to get off. I'm not joking.
Seriously?
Like you have to know which, or at least be making the effort to go
Fuck
learn.
everyone else up.
Like, yeah, like I don't know. I mean, the only time I've been there, I was like when it was dancing. and I wasn't dancing. I was hammered drunk and half paying attention.
Yeah.
But like they were very serious about like you don't just go out there and fuck around. And I was like, okay,
Sounds great.
yeah. Now I'm talking myself out of saloons. That's the saloon. I don't want that. You're free to do whatever you want to dance, and also it doesn't have to be country music. It can be anything. That piano player can play everything.
There you go.
You want to hear some Ja Rule? He'll play it. You want to hear some morbid asshole blood, whatever band you guys like? He'll play it.
Never heard of that one. Sounds great though.
Check out their latest cassette.
I feel like it has to have a player piano playing the entertainer sitting just all by itself.
A what?
Like one of those player pianos that just play by themselves on a loop all the
That's
time.
fine too. Look, there just has to be a piano playing some upbeat music,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with that.
Maybe some girls upstairs. You know, half saloon, half brothel.
Yeah, that's the olden days, right?
Yeah. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
But doing that now, like opening one up,
Can we get away with it?
A saloon or a brothel?
Or
Either
combo-
way,
combination?
yes.
combo.
In certain counties in Nevada, yes.
Would you be a bartender, Dave, that wears like the bow tie and has like the towel, like a little mustache and a towel over your shoulder? And, can I get your pal as you're wiping the counter down?
Spit shine the mug before I pour it.
Old gunslinger Ian sitting in the corner, just sipping his whiskey, watching everybody.
He'd look good with the Doc Holliday mustache sitting over
Yeah.
there with the pistol in his
Yeah, you can
lap.
pull that off. All right, we got our regular old tombstone we're going to do.
As you could expect, like the life that Carl has lived so far, the military life would not suit him. This wasn't for him, this structured life. He was placed in Company A of the 6th Infantry, but on his first day, he refused to take part in a work detail.
Of course he did.
Over the next few weeks, he kept getting in trouble, a lot of times for being drunk and refusing to follow orders. In April of 1908, Carl broke into the quartermaster's building and stole $88.24 worth of clothing. He tried to run, but was caught and locked up. On April 20th, he faced a court-martial. He pled guilty to 3 counts of theft and was sentenced to a dishonorable discharge, loss of pay, and 3 years of hard labor. His sentence was approved by William Howard Taft, who was the Secretary of War at the time, and that is a name that will come up again later in Carl's life.
That's pretty harsh, man. 3 years hard labor for $80 worth of clothes.
But what is that? What's that translate to now?
I don't know. 1,500 maybe?
3 years is a little steep. Hard
It's
labor.
a bit much.
Hey, you don't fuck around on Taft's watch.
Apparently not.
He's a big man. He'll sit
Just
on
cut
you.
his hands off.
Well, would you take that over 3 years hard labor?
I don't think so. But probably wouldn't have been killing mo folks. No hands.
Probably not.
He was transferred to Fort Leavenworth in Kansas along with other military prisoners. Chained together, they were loaded into a cattle car for a 1,000-mile trip. There were guards on board, but no food or water. These guys were just all jammed in a boxcar for 36 hours or so.
Is that crazy?
No,
It's a government train car.
horrible. This sounds like the kind of government that would also kill people. Kill prisoners, excuse me.
It's just my.
Yeah.
It's just my.
In May of 1908, at 16 years old, Carl arrived at the federal penitentiary at Fort Leavenworth in shackles.
Did he try to plead? Maybe I'm a minor still. I know I signed up, but I'm only 16. Probably didn't matter.
Yeah, they were like that. I don't give a
fair
fuck.
call.
All right, well, fuck you, pal.
You and your $88 worth of clothes, man.
Get to work.
Every day started with outdoor formation, no matter the weather. Discipline was absolute. A code of silence was enforced, borrowed from Auburn Prison in New York decades earlier. If a prisoner spoke out of turn, the punishment was immediate whipping and solitary confinement. And like solitary confinement in these places was like basically a dungeon looking similar, you know what I mean? Like it's just
A pit.
stone, yeah.
Probably like what they portrayed in Shawshank Redemption, that loser movie that didn't win an Academy Award.
Probably right. Yeah.
Carl won it out almost immediately. Quote, "I wasn't there long before I tried to escape, but luck was against me." When trying to escape failed, Carl set fire to one of the workshops, causing over $100,000 in damage. He didn't get caught for this, but he kept getting written up for smaller things. But when we're talking about smaller things, the punishments never change. They're always brutal. He was chained to a 50-pound iron ball, which Carl had to drag around all day and night, even when he slept. It never came off of him. His daily work involved smashing rocks in a quarry for 10 hours straight, 7 days a week. But instead of breaking him, this just made him tougher. And inside, he was always plotting revenge.
Guess they didn't recognize that cruel and unusual punishment prohibition in the Constitution at this time, because this seems like a lot.
In 1910, Carl was released. Looking back, he wrote, quote, "I was the spirit of meanness personified. I was a pretty rotten egg before I went there, but when I left, all the good that may have been in me had been kicked and beaten out." After being released from Leavenworth, Carl had nowhere to go. For the next few years, he drifted across Kansas, Texas, the Southwest, and into California. During this time, he was arrested multiple times under the name Jeff Baldwin for crimes like vagrancy, burglary, arson, and robbery. He said, quote, "I burned down old barns, sheds, fences, snow sheds, anything I could. And when there was nothing left to burn, I'd set fire to the grass on the prairies or the woods, anything and everything."
He shortened it to Jeff, Mike. He wasn't digging Jefferson anymore.
He did shorten it. It's his loss.
He'll be back to Jefferson in a little bit here. He's got a million names. Like if you look at his Wikipedia, it's just like
I did, yeah.
huge list of names.
Aliases.
Yeah. When Carl burglarized homes, he always looked for guns first. Quote, "I'd spend all my spare change on bullets. I'd take shots at farmers' houses, their windows, and if I saw cows or horses in the fields, I'd shoot at them too."
God damn, pal. All right.
He also rarely passed up an opportunity to just assault a random person that he came across. Quote, "Whenever I met someone who wasn't too rough looking, I'd hold them at gunpoint and make them strip. It didn't matter to me, young, old, black, white. If they were human, that was good enough for me."
I think Michael Jackson had the same quote.
That's where he got it from. It was from Carl.
That's right. He sampled Carl. He's a bit of a history guy. I don't know.
They're ignorant.
I like that one.
Ignorant.
You don't need to see my wiener. There is no reason for you to see my wiener.
There you go. No one asked you, pal.
Yeah. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Caring, compassionate, someone that'll listen to you, someone that you know always has your back. You know, we often hear about the red flags we should avoid, but what if we focused more on the green flags in friends and partners? If you're not sure what green flags look like, therapy can help you identify them, actively practice them in your relationships, and embody the green flag energy yourself. Whether you're dating, married, building a friendship, or just working on yourself, it's time to form relationships that love you back. Therapy teaches us ways to weed out negativity or weed out red flags and focus more on positive energy and green flags. By finding the green flags within ourselves, we're better able to find the green flags in others, which helps us establish and maintain healthy, happy relationships. Therapy can also be helpful in learning new positive coping skills, setting boundaries, and empowering you to be the best version of yourself. Therapy is not only for those who've experienced trauma. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, why not give BetterHelp a try? It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time at no additional charge. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/necro today and get 10% off your first month. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/necro.
In the summer of 1911, under the name Jefferson Davis, Carl got caught stealing a bike and was sentenced to 6 months in jail. But Carl, being Carl, he escaped after 30 days in. Before his arrest, he had buried some stolen guns outside of town, which he grabbed before jumping on a train heading northwest. On board a boxcar with 2 other men, Carl started sizing one of them up, planning his next assault. But before he could act, a railroad cop came in the car and tried to extort money from Carl and these 2 guys, threatening to throw him off the train. Carl said, quote, "I pulled out my gun and told him I was the guy who went around doing people good." Carl robbed the officer of his money and watch, then raped him at gunpoint. Carl forced the other 2 men to do the same, and afterward he threw all 3 men off the train and continued his journey to Oregon, where he joined the seasonal loggers in the area for work.
It's a hell of a reversal there.
That's one of those things that I'm like, well, maybe that was a little bit of an embellishment, you know.
Perhaps.
Pulled out the old Uno reverse card on him.
That's right. Draw 2 now, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a bad day to be that that cop.
He's like, oh, come on. So now he's using the name of a yellow-bellied trader who started the War of Southern Aggression. All right, pal.
Jefferson's still cool, but you don't need to go with Davis.
Davis. That's Baldwin. What was wrong with Baldwin? That's probably used up. Too many people were looking for Jefferson Baldwin. Jefferson Baldwin.
I think that is a big part of this is whenever word gets around about him a bit or any like the name, anything, then he knows it's time to leave.
Time to leave town.
Yep.
New name.
New name, new
me.
you. Oh.
Yeah. That was the male version of our period cycling up right there.
There you go.
You work together long enough, it's bound to happen. Not cycling up, syncing up. I think I said cycling.
Well,
Same
cycling's
ish.
even better, pal.
Our
Cycle syncing.
Like how we ended up on the vacation in Florida, like a street
Yeah,
away
man.
from each other,
That's-
not planned.
literally half a mile away on the
There you go.
southern part of the country.
I believe the cycle syncing is known as Bluetoothing now.
Is that what it's called? Is that the street
I
name?
believe I've heard that, yeah.
Bluetoothing. Huh. Okay. That's crazy. We just Bluetoothed.
In 1913, Carl was arrested in Montana under the name Jefferson Davis again for burglary and sentenced to a year in Montana State Prison in Deer Lodge.
Hang them, just like they should have done the original Jefferson Davis. Let's go.
While there, he reconnected with an old cellmate from the Montana Reform School, Jimmy Benson. Jimmy Benson was now serving a 10-year sentence for robbery. They planned an escape together, but at the last minute, Benson got transferred, leaving Carl to go it alone. On November 13th, 1913, Carl escaped and made his way toward Butte. Just a week later, in a town called Three Forks, he was arrested again for burglary under the name Jeff Rhodes. So they catch him and then they bring him back and they're like, motherfucker, this is you. Like, you escaped. So he got
Jeff Rhodes.
They gave him another year in Deer Lodge.
Why is he so bad at this?
He is not a good criminal.
Not a good one at all.
Life at the prison was slow and uneventful. The prison was understaffed and poorly ran, leaving inmates with a lot of free time. Carl later wrote about how he spent his days saying, quote, "At that place, I got to be an experienced wolf. I would start the morning with sodomy, work as hard at it as I could all day, and sometimes half the night." His size and, this reputation that he had made it super easy for him to intimidate other prisoners into submission.
Sodomy for breakfast, sodomy for lunch, sodomy all day because I love it a bunch.
Reading in depth about Carl Panzram is like, it makes you never ever want to break the law ever.
Yeah,
like you never want to go to jail.
Scared straight shit going on, right?
Yeah.
Well, he was also not good at it. You got to just be better at it, right?
You do have to be better at it. But
Like, I know we're talking 1915 and things have gotten better, but still,
not that much better.
no.
This is also a much easier time to break the law. in 1915 than it would be today. You can get caught on cameras or everywhere else with all the technology they have.
Yeah. It's a shame he got caught so often. He wasn't good. Just think of him today. He'd be caught immediately.
Yeah.
But if you can't do the time, don't do the crime, right?
That's what the tattoo on my lower back says.
Carl stayed at Deer Lodge until March 30th, 1915, when he was finally released. Reflecting on that day, he wrote, quote, "When I left there, the warden told me I was pure as a lily and free from all sin. He gave me $5, a suit of clothes, and a ticket to the next town 6 miles away."
A swell warden. Not like the guy in Shawshank. He wasn't that swell.
He was an ass clown. Don't worry. Ace Ventura got him back in When Nature Calls.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he pins him down, and the guy doesn't like eyeball touching, and Ace starts poking his eye.
I don't remember that.
That's how I first knew that guy, and then I
Okay.
saw him in Shawshank, and I was like, oh, he just plays a piece of shit in everything.
At this point, Carl spent months traveling up and down the Columbia River, moving through Washington, Idaho, Nebraska, and South Dakota. On the night of June 1st, 1915, he broke into a house in Astoria, Oregon, stealing a suit and some items worth less than $20. He got caught later on trying to sell a stolen watch. Charged with larceny, he pled guilty under the name Jefferson Baldwin and was sentenced to 7 years in the Oregon State Penitentiary in Salem.
Jeez, this guy. Not good, pal.
All over.
He arrived at the prison on June 24th, 1915 as inmate 7390. That's the famous picture of him.
The mustache one?
No, not the mustache one. He's clean shaven, but he's got the 7390 thing held up. When asked, he said that he was born in Alabama and listed his occupation as thief.
That's a good troll.
Own it, motherfucker.
Salem was notorious for its brutal punishments. The warden, Harry Minto, was an old school, no-nonsense former sheriff who believed in keeping prisoners in line with force. Whippings, starvation, isolation, and being hosed down or hung from walls were the common punishments. Minto ran the prison under the Auburn system, which, like we said earlier, meant that inmates were punished for even speaking out of turn. Men were chained to walls or rafters for hours, sometimes days, and whipped with the cat of nine tails. Carl was determined to not serve his full sentence quietly. Quote, "I swore I wouldn't do those 7 years, and I defied the warden and all the officers to make me. The warden swore I'd do every day of it, or he'd kill me."
I have a cat of nine tails in my bedroom. It's not that bad. Relax.
Is that considered a cryptid? A cat with 9 tails? Also, why have you never showed us?
He's shy. He doesn't like to come out.
Okay. That's good. I don't like cats anyways.
On January 1st, 1916, Carl was hung by his wrists for 10 hours a day for 2 days as punishment for fighting. A month later, he was caught on the wrong tier with a stolen billy club and was punished by being hung for 12 hours at a time. Later, he was thrown into the dungeon for 3 weeks, surviving only on bread and water. Regarding those hose punishments that we talked about, or that we referenced, Carl said, quote, "They stripped us naked, chained us to a door, and blasted us with a fire hose until we were black, blue, and half blind."
Man. Nope, that place is not for me.
Like, there is no such thing as reform back then. Like, how is anybody supposed to come out after being sent there for stealing something?
But that Auburn prison system, the whole point of that was rehabilitation. They thought that keeping you quiet like this would reform you, but
They fixed you.
Like, this whole
too.
hosing people down with a fire hose like that till they're just all fucking beat
Yeah.
up and shit. Can't-
imagine your ball sack getting hit with that fire hose, like point blank like that.
No.
No, thank you, sir.
You take that once in the face and you're like drowning, already.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if Carl should have done a little better at keeping his head down. Like, he could still be a criminal and shit, but maybe just chill out a little bit. Like, dude,
Settle,
stop
get a
fighting
better
with
plan.
everyone.
Also, do better. Get better at this.
Like, maybe just listen to the warden and stop fighting and shit for a minute.
Well, it doesn't seem like he really plans things out.
He's very impulsive.
He gets an idea in his head and then he just does it without any thought about, okay, well, what am I going to do after?
Sure. Yeah, what was he doing with the billy club up there? You don't need a billy club.
He was probably going to go fuck somebody up, I'm
Right.
guessing.
Or just fuck
The
somebody
war.
Well,
with his own billy club.
That's ignorant.
in early 1917, Carl helped a fellow inmate, Otto Hooker, escape. Side note about Otto Hooker, he later killed Warden Minto years later when they crossed paths in a town nearby. So,
Just like that Sleepers movie, see? Can't fuck with people you might run into later in life. It's going to end badly for you.
it's like, hey, remember that fire hose that you hit me with for like 10 hours?
Yeah, exactly.
Early days of fuck around and find out.
Very early.
Some might call it karma.
That's another
Some might
word for
refer to it as karma.
I
yes.
prefer fuck around and find out.
Carl also made several escape attempts of his own, and on September 18th, he finally succeeded, cutting through his cell bars and breaking out. Carl stole food, clothes, money, and a loaded .38 caliber gun from a house nearby. A few days later, a sheriff deputy recognized him and tried to arrest Carl. Carl opened fire but ran out of ammo. He was captured, and on the way to jail, he fought the officer for his gun, kicking out the car windows and firing shots through the roof. They just pulled out all like their billy clubs and beat him unconscious and threw him in solitary confinement.
This dude's wild.
He's a terrible criminal. He's a terrible fighter. This guy can't win at anything. How many times has he been beaten unconscious now in his life? His brothers did it. The police officers, correctional officers, cops on the railroad. Poor guy can't win a fight.
You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, as Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, he needed to know when to keep his head down and just shut the fuck up. Then on May 12th, 1918, Carl escaped again, this time sawing through window bars and jumping from the prison walls. He went into the woods, hopped a freight train heading east, and left the Pacific Northwest behind for good. He's had enough. He's got to go out east.
Smart.
He's finally had enough.
That was his loser leaves town match. He's out of here.
Now going by the name John O'Leary, Carl shaved his mustache and resumed his life of crime, burglarizing and burning churches as he slowly made his way to the East Coast.
To start a new beginning.
New
Fresh start.
new me, right?
Speaking of loser leaves town match, you guys had your neckbeard Super Bowl over the weekend. 2 days worth.
Yeah.
How was that? Was it fun? Was it everything you thought it would be this year?
Nah,
No.
not very good.
I'm referring to WrestleMania, of course, for the non-neckbeards in the
Neckbeard
audience.
Super Bowl.
It was okay.
I don't.
I wasn't going to do a
hear
full
much enthusiasm.
I don't want to do a full breakdown of it, but it's it was fine.
Okay.
The end was massively disappointing.
I heard we have a
the
new
end
champion.
of the second night.
Yeah.
But I heard the match was not very good.
The match was not good. I was fine with John Cena winning, becoming the 17-time world champion, which is
17.
a pro wrestling record.
Really?
He passed Ric Flair.
How about that?
Good riddance. to
Yeah.
Rick.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But it was a lackluster match. A lot of storyline build up with The Rock just for him to not even be there or show up.
Yeah, it's just really stupid.
Thanks. We'll take Travis Scott showing up and being a part of wrestling. Thanks for nothing. He looks so intimidating standing next to John Cena and Cody
I'm
Rhodes.
sure he did.
Yeah.
The first night ended great. I love that. There's some good
The
storytelling.
Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk match was, I think, the best match of all of the weekend.
I heard Stone Cold was on an ATV and ran into someone in the crowd or something along those
man.
lines, and they're afraid of getting sued now.
Well, he always rides his ATV down to the ring. He takes those corners fast.
Yeah.
And he lost a little control and he hit the barrier. This lady stopped, held on, thought about it, then went, "Ugh," and sat into her chair. Like it was, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if she could have been in a wheelchair and was just holding the thing to stand up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've also seen people say she did that twice over the course of the weekend with something else. They had the president, like this was all off camera, but like fan footage. They had the actual president of the company come down and talk to her.
I bet they
Austin
did.
checked on her twice. Yeah, she'll probably be sitting front row for the next decade or so.
That's usually how it works, right?
Yeah.
Somebody gets hit and
They'll get hooked up with something.
yeah,
at
some
least.
free autographs and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, great. What a deal.
Like everybody else standing there was just fine because the barricade moved a little bit. This lady, I don't know. Maybe she really got hurt and we're going to look like dickheads. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just saying it was a delayed fall.
More to come on that one, I'm sure.
I don't think we'll hear about it again. I think that WWE probably threw so much money at her that they're going to be like, hey, take this and just shut the fuck up, please.
Yeah. Maybe they can use A1 to come up with a proper compensation package for the lady.
They probably will. It's a very good point, Dave.
In the summer of 1920, Carl spent a lot of time wandering around New Haven, Connecticut. He liked busy places full of people. More people meant more opportunities, more targets, more money, more victims. Plus, busy areas kept police preoccupied. Less chances of him getting in trouble.
Exactly. Now you're getting some smarts, Carl.
At night, he roamed the streets looking for easy marks. If he didn't mug someone that was drunk or just randomly assault someone, he'd be scouting houses to rob. In August, he came across a house at 113 Whitney Avenue that seemed like a jackpot. It was a big, old 3-story colonial, the kind of house that he figured belonged to someone wealthy. Carl broke through a window. He started ransacking the rooms. In a den, he hit the mother lode, a stash of jewelry, bonds, and a .45 caliber handgun. Then he noticed the name on the bonds, William H. Taft, and it clicked. This was the same guy Carl believed had sentenced him to 3 years at Leavenworth back in 1907 when Taft was the Secretary of War. Now Taft was a former president and a law professor at Yale. After grabbing everything he could carry, Carl slipped out the back window and disappeared into the night.
Is this a confirmed story?
I had never heard it before, but
I hadn't either.
that could be something very much that is, I'm not doubting it.
I just mean, I know Carl states this. I just
Yeah.
wonder if there was ever corroborated anywhere. And is he going to go out and start smoking people with President Taft's 45? That's pretty fucking wild, if so.
So this would have been the time the Secret Service had now existed. Because I believe it was 1907 when they officially existed and were to protect the president. But I don't know if they would protect former presidents at that time. I'm not sure when that went into effect. Okay, so through the power of Google, I looked it up. So it was like 1907, 1908 is when the Secret Service officially started protecting the president. But it wasn't until 1965 that former presidents started receiving protection. So at this time, Taft's out of the White House. He would not have necessarily had Secret Service detail
He's on his own.
Yeah.
In the following year, he'd go be Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
1921. Thanks to his old pal Warren G.
There you go. Hard on. Warren G. Hard on.
That's right.
And as far as any corroboration is concerned, that we're just relying on Carl Panzram's words.
What you have to. That's fine.
Yeah. So I don't know. He could have done this. Regardless if he didn't actually steal from Taft, he stole from somebody that got him enough to get $3,000 in cash because he went and sold a bunch of jewelry and bonds and kept the Colt 45 for himself. With the money, he bought a yacht and named it the Akista and registered it under the name John O'Leary. So one way or another, like I said, he stole enough from somebody to
money.
make that. Yeah.
He got paid.
Yeah. 3K is about 50 G's back then, so pretty good haul.
He sailed the yacht up the East River, through Long Island Sound, and along the Connecticut coastline, hitting every opportunity along the way. Anytime Carl saw a boat docked, he'd break in and steal whatever he could. Eventually, Carl docked the Akista in the New Haven Yacht Club, where he laid low for a while, enjoying the summer, drinking some Prohibition-era booze.
Yeah,
planning his
bathtub
next
gin,
move.
baby. Let's go.
When Carl visited Manhattan's Lower East Side, he couldn't help but notice the crowds of sailors that would leave from ships. Most of them were looking for work on outgoing freighters or local boats, and as he wandered the streets of East Village, Carl started forming a plan. He said, quote, "I thought it'd be a good idea to hire a few sailors to work for me, get them out to my yacht, get them drunk, assault them, rob them, and then kill them. And that's exactly what I did. Every day or two, I'd go to New York, hang around 20 South Street, and scout out sailors. We'd wine and dine, and when we were drunk enough, they'd go to bed. When they were asleep, I'd grab my .45 Colt automatic, stolen from Mr. Taft's home, and blow their brains out."
This guy's a maniac.
Yeah, now he's getting into the serial killing.
When you shoot a bunch of sailors like that, that's a lot of semen all over your bed.
That's a lot.
It certainly is.
Semen everywhere.
He'd tie rocks to their bodies, row out toward Long Island Sound near Execution Lighthouse,
Execution Lighthouse.
and dump them into the sea. Eventually, the locals on City Island started getting suspicious. Like we said earlier, people would start kind of like, "Oh, who's that guy? It seems like some shit's always going down when he's around."
He's doing some Tony Soprano shit out in the Sound, weighing bodies down and shit.
So Carl made plans to move on. He sailed down the New Jersey coast with 2 new victims and alongside him, planning to kill them when he reached Long Beach Island. However, a massive storm hit in late August 1920, destroying the Akista against some rocks. Carl barely made it to shore alive. And as for the 2 sailors, they managed to swim down shore just north of Atlantic City. Don't know whatever happened to them, but...
Stroke of luck on their end. Stroke of luck.
Yep. Because if that storm wouldn't have hit, they would have definitely been dead and thrown in the ocean.
Yeah.
In 1921, Carl found himself in jail for 6 months in Bridgeport, Connecticut, after getting caught for burglary and carrying a loaded handgun. When he was released, he joined a maritime union that ended up in the middle of a labor strike. This was like a whole thing that boiled over, where hardliners in the union ended up in a brawl with strikebreakers, and Carl was arrested again after being involved in a gunfight with the police in this whole situation. Instead of sticking around, Carl jumped bail and fled Connecticut. Just a few days later, he hopped on a ship and ended up in Angola, a Portuguese colony on the west coast of Africa.
Carl's in Africa now?
He is.
All right.
This guy's fucking all over.
That's a twist.
Fucking world tour of terrible criminals.
Once in Angola, he got a job as a foreman with the Sinclair Oil Company, which was part of an American effort to search for new oil sources in Africa. But Carl didn't stay out of trouble for long. While in Luanda, he lured an 11-year-old boy to the Sinclair oil grounds, where he brutally assaulted and killed him.
This is the first kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's, when I'm saying assault, like he raped this kid.
Yeah.
Like it's...
I assumed.
Yeah, everybody's free game now to Carl.
Just continual escalation. Arson, burglary, theft. Then he's murdering people. Now he's killing kids.
After this crime, he moved on to Libido Bay, a coastal fishing village. Carl hired 6 local men to help him hunt crocodiles in the jungle, something that could make him a lot of money by selling the hides to European buyers. But Carl had a different plan. As they paddled into the jungle, he turned on them, shooting all 6 men one by one, then finishing them off with shots to the back of the head. He dumped their bodies in the river, leaving them as food for crocodiles, and returned to Libido Bay. Realizing he needed to take off before people connected him to the missing men, Carl headed up the Congo River toward Point Banana and eventually made his way to the Gold Coast.
This guy's out of control, man. What is going on?
In the Gold Coast, he robbed local farmers to scrape together enough money for a ticket to the Canary Islands. But when he couldn't find anyone worth robbing there, he hopped away on a ship to Lisbon, Portugal. Word of his crimes in Africa had made it to authorities, and Carl knew the police were on the lookout for him. Somehow he managed to slip away and board another ship back to the United States, landing on American soil by the summer of 1922. After a few days back in the United States, Carl headed to the United States Customs Office in New York City. He was there to renew his captain's license and pick up papers for his old yacht.
Ahoy, mateys! It's Captain Carl at your service. Arr. Captain Carl back in the United States. Oh boy, this fucking guy. He's great.
Carl was planning to steal another boat and pass it off as the Akista. So he started checking out local boat yards around New York and then worked his way up the coast. Eventually, he found himself in Providence, Rhode Island, but still hadn't found the right target. He kept moving, heading up to Boston and then all the way to Salem, Massachusetts.
He should go find Chancellor and cornhole him and see how he likes it.
On July 18th, 1922, Carl crossed paths with 12-year-old George Henry McMahon. George lived at 65 Boston Street in Salem and had spent most of that day helping out at a neighbor's restaurant run by Mrs. Margaret Lyons. At one point, Mrs. Lyons gave him some money and sent George on a quick errand. Quote, I gave him 15 cents around 2:15 and asked him to grab some milk from the A&P store, Mrs. Lyons later testified. George left the restaurant and headed toward Boston Street. About an hour later, another neighbor, Mrs. Margaret Crean, noticed him walking with a man she didn't recognize. Quote, I was sitting by my window and saw the boy with a man. He was dressed in a blue suit and wearing a cap. That man was Carl Panzram.
Captain Carl.
Captain Carl.
Captain Carl.
At the time, Carl didn't even know George's name. Quote, he told me he was 11, said he was running an errand for his aunt, who supposedly owned a store. I asked him if he wanted to earn 50 cents, and he said yes. Carl followed George into the store and talked with the clerk before convincing the boy to go with him on a trolley ride. They got off in a quiet, isolated part of town about a mile away, and over the next 3 hours, Carl raped and beat the boy multiple times. Then he took a rock and smashed George's head and shoved several pieces of magazine paper down his throat. I don't know what the magazine paper is all about. There's some fucking weird thing with some of these guys where they do that kind of shit where they stuff things down people's throats after they're dead.
We've talked about that quite a few times.
Yeah.
Arr, it just got out of control. He wouldn't walk the plank.
3 days later, on July 21st, George's body was found. The murder sent shockwaves through the community. This is like the 1920s, and something like this happening is fucking crazy, you know? Police launched a massive investigation, essentially just questioning anyone they could find. But by then, Carl was long gone. And that's where we'll pick back up on part 2.
Off to greener pastures, laddies. Looking for more semen. Well, this Carl's a wild man, Ian.
He's something.
He is something. I don't know what quite, but he is something.
This is just part 1. Good grief.
Yeah, we got Carl's trial, all kind of stuff to get
Whoa,
into next week.
I didn't know he got caught. What are you doing, man?
Are you supposed after his criminal history he'd get away with it in the end?
I didn't know. I thought this was going to be like the ultimate like reversal. Like he was so bad and then became better criminal and never got caught. He sailed off into the sunset and they haven't been able to find him. Alas, now I know that didn't
No
happen.
happy endings for Carl. Allegedly.
Also,
A lot of happy endings for Carl,
Well.
but maybe not at the end of the day.
saying the name Carl over and over again is really hard for me for some reason. I found that out tonight.
Carl.
Yeah.
You got to
Like,
roll your
that's-
R, your L. Carl.
Yeah. This is getting caught in my mouth. I keep thinking of Rick from Walking Dead when he's saying Carl.
Is his name Carl?
Carl.
His son's name's Carl. He's always like, there's a meme of him
Is that
like pleading with
that's-
his son Carl.
that's the first thing you think of with Carl?
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have a Carl? When I hear the name
I
Carl,
don't think so.
it immediately, forever, I will just think Carl Winslow, Family Matters.
Yeah.
I guess Carl Monday.
Yeah.
I also
He
think
does, not,
of,
he does not first come up.
I also think of Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That might actually be the first one that pops in my head.
I know of it, but I've not watched it. Okay.
Don't love the name, or at least don't love reading it.
You got one more week.
Yeah.
We just got to get do a recording of you and just hit it every time you want to say Carl.
Carl.
Well, you could just call him Panzram, right? How do you say it?
I don't know. I always feel weird. I always use first names.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I do. It's weird.
Panzram the pirate.
Pirates of Panzram. I let the subject tell me what it is. Like whenever I'm doing like a history show, whichever way I just feel comfortable, whether it's like if I'm doing George Washington, do I feel comfortable writing George? Do I feel comfortable calling him Washington? It just changes for me, like first or last name, what I use. But I try to stay consistent throughout then the story.
President Washington to you, sir, or General Washington.
Well, sure. I did one on Teddy Roosevelt a while back, and it was Teddy the whole time. It was natural.
No. It's your prerogative, Ian. Go with what works.
Well, I'm going to keep calling him Carl.
All right.
Okay.
Carl.
Well, we'll save final thoughts for next week, I guess.
Yeah, my final thought today is this guy is fucking wild, man.
He's all over the place, literally and figuratively.
It's wild that another criminal along the way hasn't pulled out a gun and just shot him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all that
Back in the West.
Yeah, like what you said earlier, the Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
Just pulled that when
Fuck
Carl was
me.
going to do some shit.
No, fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But then also, like you said, or one of you alluded to, maybe he's making some of that up. Maybe he wasn't this hard-ass guy fighting all these people. Maybe he saw some of that and that inspired his tales. And after the fact, when he's been arrested 100 times, he's like, well, I was a bad man, though.
Yeah. Like that whole story about how he fucking raped 3 or 4 different guys at gunpoint and then threw them all off the train. Like, I don't know if that happened.
You sure about that, Carl? You sure about that?
Well, okay. Anything else for part 1, Ian? Anything else you saw or found that we should discuss, get into?
No.
Okay. And we'll wrap it up next week.
Yeah.
You going on record officially?
Yeah.
All right.
2 parts.
Can't wait for that
Can't go
text.
back on that.
Can't wait for that text in about 3 days.
It's on the record, man.
It just means there's more juicy information we got to get into, and that's why it gets extended.
The juicier the better, as Mike Nalapod always says.
Yeah.
There's a very, like, we'll talk about it next week, but Carl confesses a lot. That's why we quote him so much, you know, with his confession. There's a lot of juicy details. They're just gross to talk about.
Yeah, let's go.
He gets pretty graphic sometimes.
Does he? Does he see all kinds of good stuff?
It depends on what your definition of good stuff is.
I just want to smell his dick. I do not want to smell
Carl's, you mean?
Well, I'm half chubbed right now. Wow, that was really loud. I think that happens sometimes with me. I get very excited. All right. You want to go to Patreon?
Let's go to Patreon. First, I will give one more public service announcement. If you're going to sign up for Patreon, please do it on the website, not via the iOS app. Avoid that 30% surcharge. I see people coming through on that. You're paying 30% too much. So
Yeah.
sign up on the website first. You can log into your app once you're done. Just don't do your initial sign up and pay through iOS. It's quite
Super
expensive.
shady.
Yeah, very shady. That being concluded, thank you to new patrons, Amanda Dambeck, Michelle DiCrescenzo, Alicia Orlando, Julie D, DMCC, Sir Tomater 888, world's first female cuck for Dave Namapod.
Oh,
Okay. Welcome aboard,
female cuck.
ma'am.
That could probably be a kink. I can get into that.
Yeah, can you get into that?
I mean, I'd watch. But does that also make me a cuck if I'm not even involved?
It's a deep conversation we might need to have.
Like a secondary cuck?
Oh, cuck squared.
Yeah. I don't know.
What to think about that one?
The mental gymnastics you have to do for that. How fucked up am I?
Well,
I want to watch another guy or another wife get cucked.
It's like some Inception cucking.
Yeah.
cucking.
Yeah, too much science. I'm not interested anymore. I lost my boner.
Timothy Bonner, Blair, Steve-O, Elizabeth Morgan, Layla Redden, Brandon Boozer, Vibilet, Olivia Swadling, Derwoken Wanderer, Rachel Beard, Alexis K, Kate James, Necromancer, Christy Parker Carpenter, Kepi Boone, Ray Shing, Matthew Tian, Allison Wu MF Pig, Dried Plum, Dalton, Drink from the Chalice, Dustin O'Wedding, Graves Valentine, P. Ness Insider, Working Homeless Vlog, Christy Reese, Tony C, PP Pants, Kathleen Getting, Alina Masavage, Matt Gibson, and Isabella Schmidt. Thank you, new patrons. Welcome aboard. If I missed any double entendres there, I'm very sorry.
Ian, what do you got?
On Patreon last week, we just did the disappearance of Bryce Laspisa at our Barney Hill tier.
That's right. We've been doing a lot of unsolved stories recently.
Yeah,
I really enjoy those.
Did we solve the case? Maybe.
possibly.
You have to listen.
Yeah, tune in and find out.
And the next week or later in the week, we have a wrestling show coming up on Patreon.
At the Jim Jones tier. Yeah, that'll be a good one. It'll be a little bit dark side of the ring, this one.
Yeah.
Which I think people enjoy. Yeah. We don't always like to do it, but this one will be a little darker, maybe.
Doesn't end well, that's for sure.
No.
No. I'll sit in for that show, I guess.
You gonna sit in?
Probably.
Okay. Of course you would for this one, pervert.
When we're doing the Rhea Ripley show, I'll sit in for that one.
Mommy. Fuck yeah. All right, I have a quick shout out. I got a alley oop on, I believe, Instagram. Sent me a Chuck Palahniuk book and sent us some koozies from a chiropractic practice. How about that, guys? You guys love chiropractors.
My back hurts just thinking about that.
Yeah. Well, it's all that back-breaking work we've been talking about tonight.
Carrying around that 50-pound ball.
That's right. Break anybody's back.
Yeah.
So thank you, Allie. That was really cool. Appreciate it. This book she sent me is the one that has that story in it we read on here on the show, Guts, the one where the guy gets his guts sucked out in the pool drain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a book of short stories. So thank you.
That's a terrible story.
It was an awesome story, but it was terrible.
I had one too. Callie sent us a bag of Mothman potato chips.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty tasty.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, not
Mysterious spice flavoring.
The packaging might be the coolest part.
Yeah.
Those are some cool chips. I would buy those every day in a gas station. Like if I had Groundhog Day and just forgot but lived the same life every day, I would grab that bag of chips.
I've never seen those around here. I don't know where they come from, but
Yeah, I've never seen them.
I don't know. Mr. B potato chips, Mothman.
All right. Good job, Mr. Beep. Beep?
Mr. B, like
B.
a little bee.
Sorry.
I never heard of that either. Anyway,
Okay.
somewhere out there you can get Mothman potato chips
Well.
and shove them down your throat.
Shove them down your throat.
On your gullet.
That's a way to say it. All right. Anything else, guys? We good?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. I suspect next week's not going to be a very fun conversation.
A lot of the same kind of stuff.
Nice.
We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Necronomipod, patreon.com/Necronomipod, amazon.com. Search Necronomipod for all of our merch at necronomipod.com.
All right, you guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.